Manuscript back from my editor about 2 weeks ago, well, less than 2 weeks ago, for my personal book, my story. And I want to talk about that a little bit because all over again, I'm feeling mad love for everybody who writes their story and writes about their journey, women who write about their journey in an effort to share that and help other people. So if you are in the process of doing that, I'm sending you all of my support, encouragement, and love because it's a big deal. Now, man, I've taken like 4 deep breaths. I'm going to try my best not to get uber emotional in this, but so I got it back, got the manuscript back. And I have my editor's permission to share this. I'm not using her name, but she knows I'm going to be writing it. Oh my goodness, she absolutely gutted my manuscript. Gutted it. There were multiple places she just said, take this out. Nobody wants to hear that. Basically, she said it was an egotistical book where I was writing and talking about myself, and nobody would care, right? Nobody wants to read this. That was essentially what she said. Okay, so she gutted the manuscript, and so I cried for like 4 days thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I hired someone, right, to look at this before I put it out into the world, because disaster, I just wrote a terrible book. So like the 4th day of crying, I started getting a little bit angry, and I'm like, you know, I read books every day from authors in their rough form, and I know that it wasn't terrible, right? It wasn't terrible. So then I started pulling back a little bit and wondering why I would have gotten a review like that. Why would have gotten that feedback? Because it was red-lined. Let me tell you, full red lines. This particular editor does content editing for lots of other publishing houses, but not for me. I do content editing myself. And if you've worked with me, you know that I have a very soft hand when it comes to content editing, because I want your voice to show up. I want your message to show up just the way you want it to sound, okay? I just try to make it sound polished and a little bit better. I don't make sweeping changes, but this was like heavy-handed all throughout it. So at the end of the 4th day, I'm thinking, you know, why would she have done this? Let me look at this a different way. And so like took 4 or 5 days of intermittently crying and being upset about it. And then yesterday it dawned on me, you know what? Is it possible that she read this manuscript and was like really triggered by it, that she just did not agree with some of the things I said? Wonder about that. And then I remembered something that I tell every author I work with. Don't quit your day job based on 1 positive review, and don't trash a manuscript over 1 negative one. Like 1 review means nothing. 1 review means nothing. But here I was ready to trash the last 2.5 years of my life over 1 negative review, right? 1. Oh my goodness. So, but I got it and I have clarity on it now, and I'm moving forward with my own edits. I'm going to go back to I don't need someone else's permission to tell my story. I don't need it. I'll have it line edited, and I will decide how that final manuscript reads. That's what I tell all of my authors. That's what I do, right? It's the Scorpio Press publishes the authentic voice. I don't want this to sound like every other novel, every other book. It's not a novel. So now that I have clarity on it, I'm thinking, oh, I'm so glad that I went through this process myself, right? Because I can tell my authors all day long how 1 review doesn't mean anything, and the first round of edits is just a first round of edits. You can reject any edits you don't like. Even though I say that, to feel that right now was such a gift to me in this process of working with you, authors, because it sucked bad. It hurt really badly. I was embarrassed and ashamed and all the things about my story that I was afraid I would feel when it was published. Like I felt it all. I felt it all when I got it back from this editor who really took a hacksaw to it. So crazy, crazy love and support to everybody out there writing their story. Keep at it, and don't let one person's opinion define you.